Before printing, you're going to need a metal cookie sheet. You're going to need a brayer. You're going to need some ink, a baren, some paper, and of course your linoleum block. So the first thing you're going to do to get started is you're going to put just a little bit of ink right on the tray. And really a little bit of ink goes a long way, so you don't need much. Okay. Then you're going to take your brayer and you're going to start rolling out the ink. And you're going to want to switch directions. You want to roll out the ink nice and even, so it might take you a few seconds to get it that way. And you'll be able to tell when it's nice and even because it makes a little wick-wick sound. And then it lays nice and flat and even right on the tray. Okay, it's going to look kind of like that. And you can see too there's a little bit of a texture over top of the ink. So that's how I know it's going to be nice and even. So then I'm going to take a sheet of paper, or you can use newsprint paper as well. I'm going to take one of my plates and I'm going to lay that out on the paper. And this way I'm not going to get a bunch of ink on the table. It makes cleanup a lot easier. So I'm going to load up my brayer with some ink, and then I'm going to lightly apply that to the plate. Okay. You want to make sure you get a nice even coat on your plate. You can even switch directions of the brayer if you want to. Okay. And then when you're not using your brayer, make sure you set it this way on the tray. That way it won't warp the brayer and you won't get extra ink someplace where you don't want it. So it makes it nice and easy. So I'm going to set that to the side on my tray here. So now I've got my plate ready to go. So I'm going to take my paper. Now there's two ways you can print. Way number one is you can leave your plate down and you can set your paper on top of it, or you can take your paper, lay it down, and set your plate on top of it. Either way is fine. For the sake of this one, I'm going to show you putting the plate on top. So as I'm laying it down, you want to be careful to not slide it around, otherwise it's going to mess up your print. So I'm going to kind of tap it onto the paper so it kind of sticks. Then I'm going to take my baren and apply some pressure to the back of the plate. Okay, and if you want to, you can even at this time sort of flip your paper around like this, holding it tightly so it doesn't move, and then you can apply the baren on the side with the paper. Then when you're done, this is called pulling a print, and you're going to take your paper and just pull it back, okay, and then check it out. Now this one, it looks like I have a little, it's a little light, so I could have applied a little bit more ink, and you're going to find that that happens. Sometimes you're going to need to apply a little bit more ink till you get a feel for it. So sometimes you'll over apply the ink, you'll under apply the ink, but you want to find that happy medium. Okay, so I can try and